are we talking about today?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
I heard that. Oh, mine's been sitting right here this whole time, in frame. Guess what? Oops, not that page. Hold on.
Guess what?
Not that page. Hold on.
Hey, T!
Not that fucking page. Hold on.
Thanks for signing my shit!
Yeah!
That's how I wanted to start the episode anyway, so it's good.
Okay. Well, sorry I ruined that. Do you want to do it again?
No.
Again.
I like it. Oh, okay.
No, do it again.
Hey,
Do it
D!
again.
Thanks for signing the shit!
Oh, you have it all fucking paged out to that fucking
It's because
page.
it's like my... Oh, I do. I didn't mean it like that.
Well, I flipped through all 10 of the beginning pages.
Welcome back to Boost and Reviewed, everyone.
A little late, but that's fine.
Whatever.
Also, this is just a really pretty cover.
I love the gold. Everybody is like obsessed with the UK cover, but the gold is a moment.
What's the UK cover look like? BRB.
Okay.
Carrie
Yeah, the gold is a moment.
Soto
And then like
is
the blue side, I don't know. It's just it's something.
Oh, I've seen that one. I don't know which one I like better.
I prefer this one.
But like
I understand. I mean, if you have all the UK covers of her books, they all match.
Oh, do they really? Okay,
I think they do. I might be thinking of
Rising.
Emily Henry.
No, they do match.
Yeah. So
Malibu
it makes
Rising.
sense if you have all her UK covers, but like, I think, I don't know, something about the gold is really cool.
They match a little bit more, yeah. I could see that.
But it is what it is. I like it.
Not to jump around all over the place, but can we just talk about that post that you sent me about how someone thought that Daisy Jones had murder in it?
I mean, it's on theme.
topic.
It's on theme. But yeah, what even is that? We're going to give a shout out to a random page right now just because we're on topic. It's the freaking page that's like Goodreads reviews, but they're like funny. What is that?
Oh, that wasn't somebody's personal page?
No, it's like it's like a
okay,
meme
good.
page. Yeah, it's called Goodreads_reviews, and they post funny reviews. And this person posted a review of Daisy Jones and the Six, and and it says, "I know everybody loves this book. ... But I was so bored." Next sentence. Also, I don't know why I thought this book involved a murder.
So that's obviously hilarious because what? But it's
What
also even more funny because I feel like aside from the fact that I was not bored while reading Malibu Rising, that was me in Malibu Rising.
It is really true though. Yeah, because like, I don't know.
Because I thought it was a thriller that we were reading. So I was like, who's gonna fucking die? Where's the murder? So that's like funny to me, but I still loved Malibu Rising after I realized
that's gonna be
your
your review of Malibu Rising, even though you already reviewed it. You're like, but like, where was the murder? Too good.
Oh my
too
god.
good.
So just on that whole page, I just followed that page.
It's funny. It's so funny.
Someone reviewed It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. And it throughout the book, this isn't spoiler because I know you're going to read it at some point, but they always talk about naked truths and like, okay, just be blatantly honest.
Oh,
it says, now it's time for my naked truth. This book sucks with hard eyes.
Oh my gosh. Well, Kari posted this book post, and it was like, do this instead of this. It was like this, that. And I was like, oh, damn. And then people were sounding off in the comments, and they're like, yeah, It Ends With Us. It's just me. And I was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I'm going to decide for myself. I'll probably hate it, but it's fine. It is what it is. I don't know. I'm like, Colleen Hoover's like a in-between
I know. She's
for
an
me.
in-between for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Goodreads. Oh, there it is. I followed it on the pod account on accident. So here we go.
Oops. Oh, well, that's fine.
I'm just scrolling now.
There's one of the Hungry Caterpillar, and
Pretty shallow critique of socialism, to be honest.
there's one that says, there's no way this caterpillar is big enough for all this food or some shit like that. It was really funny.
Oh my god.
They're quite hilarious. Morgan's distracted by this funny shit.
I'm sorry. Did you read The Maidens? You read The Maidens, right?
I read The Maidens.
I swear if he put one more obvious red herring in this book, I might have set it on fire.
Oh my god.
That's accurate, though, to that one.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is.
We could make, you know what we should do as a totally different episode? Go through these and pick out books that we've read and talk about them.
Oh, bonus episode?
Yeah. Like on the Goodreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I like that. We can write that down on our list.
Yeah.
Our list of things.
Sorry.
Okay. Insert, oh my God, why can't I think of anything? Never mind, forget it.
Insert.
What kind of flavor did you get today?
I got a caramel swirl coffee.
Oh, hello, kitty.
There's a cat in here. Watch, she's going to jump up there. Minnie.
All right. Do you want to talk about the things?
I guess. What the hell else are we doing here?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. We're not. She's like, I'm done with these
girls. Listen to
these girls bullshit.
So we got these. How did we get these though?
So I know we announced this last episode, but if you're a new viewer, Jesus H, fuck.
Josh just came through and closed my door.
If you're a new viewer, hi Josh. Look at him.
He was just talking to
me. If you're a new viewer, we went to our first ever author event. Was this your first ever author event?
Yeah.
It was the first ever mine too. And it was for the Queen, TJR.
Yeah.
And she chatted. It was like a what would you say, a moderated event where
it was a moderated event, yeah, where like I feel like those were questions that a lot of people had, like that the moderator answered or asked. Yeah. And then it opened up to the audience and we got like 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah.
It was only an hour-long event, which I feel like if I had to complain about one thing, I wish it was a little longer.
Yeah, me too. But I also was kind of grateful it wasn't longer because we had to drive 2 hours back. We, as in you.
Yes.
And
well, yes, we.
But yeah, I was like grateful and not grateful at the same time. But it was only $30
for entrance and for a hard copy of Carrie Soto that was signed.
Yeah, which I thought it was good. Like this, because I bought Finley Donovan Knocks 'Em Dead. Mm-hmm. That's a hardcover and signed, and it was $30. It was $30, so it's like that's a good deal. So
yeah.
An hour of her time and a hardcover signed copy of her book. Like,
and 4 hours of my life in a car with Danielle that I'll never get back.
She had a great time. Let me tell you, she thought it was funny as hell.
That was the longest car ride of my life.
No way. She had a great ass time. Don't let her lie to you. Her faces. It was fun. It was a good day. It was good
fun. It was a good day.
Yeah. It was a long trip, but I made it worth it because I was being annoying as balls.
She was.
I was talking like this the whole time.
But we played the license plate game.
Yo, this was the best accomplishment of the day.
We started, we live in New York. So we left New York and drove to Connecticut. So we went through, I think, Massachusetts and then Connecticut, right?
Yeah, we had to go through Mass.
So we went through 3 states, technically, if you count New York. Mm-hmm. And we started halfway-ish, a little bit more than halfway to the event. So we played, because Danielle and I talked the whole time about books. And then we were like, okay, we ran out of things to talk about. Let's play the license plate game.
We talked about a lot of things.
We really did.
Anyway.
And then we started, I think it was about a 2.5 hour drive there. And we had an hour left in the drive when we started playing.
Yeah.
And then we played all the way there. And then the whole ride back, which was in the dark. So keep that in mind.
Mission accomplished.
How many did we get?
Did I erase them? Oh, I think I erased them. No.
I think it was like 15.
Yeah, I think we got 15. I wanted to just share all the states we got. We got so many.
We did.
It was.
And we're not making that up.
No, it was a good accomplishment. It was fun. It was so fun. We were like, look at that truck. What's it say? Morgan almost killed us a few times because she's like, what's that license plate say?
Yeah, I'm like, oh. What's that like?
I'm like, Mark, you're driving.
That's all right. We made it out fine.
It was so fun. It was so fun. So outside of me talking in a weird voice and us playing the license plates game, we get there. And I think we were both really freaking nervous. And we're like, what do we do? Because we were there pretty early.
We got there. The doors opened at 6. We got there at 5:15. And we were 10th in line.
Yeah, we were pretty early in the line.
I really expected people to be lining up.
So I think after we got in line, I think a lot of other people started to file in after us.
I wonder if they didn't know where to line up because, I mean, we followed that lady all the way fucking backwards around the building.
Yeah, I know.
She was directing us the right way. Poor lady.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, but yeah, we were pretty early in line. We get in and we were standing there, and then we ended up so we had to say our name, whatever. I bought our tickets, and then we got in. We were literally front row.
Yeah.
Literal front row. So we
were front row. And just really quick, that was my first time that I've ever been to like a book event, aside from being in Barnes & Noble. Oh, yeah.
There's us.
Look at that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Taylor's in the background right there.
Yeah, I could see her little head peeping in the back.
We got there and everybody around us was just talking about books.
It was so like weird and like great in this
in the same way. I was just like, oh my God, do you think they'd care if I interjected into their Kristen Hannah conversation? They're talking about how like The Great Alone destroyed them. And I'm like, dude.
Like, hi, I'm not listening to your conversation, but I am.
Please let me join.
We want to be your friends. It's so funny though, because after I went through and I went through hashtag TJR and I found everybody who went to that event.
Creep.
And I followed them. Whatever.
You're a creep.
Nuh-uh. We made a new friend. But yeah, it was so freaking cool. We got front row. Morgan was like, didn't realize. I was like, well, let's just sit right here. Right here.
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find. I sent it to a bunch of people.
But yeah, I was like, let me sit right here next to these two girls. And then there was literally front row and we were like, and she's like, yeah, okay. And yeah. So we sat there for a while, we chatted, and then she came out and the lady asked questions. And I'm like kind of mad though, because yeah, we're right there. That's Morgan in the green.
I can't click on it because the story has since gone away. Also, shout out Liz because this is our messages.
But yeah, so we were literally right there. It was crazy.
It was. And she came out and she was honestly the sweetest person. Not that I expected her to not be, but you just get nervous when you're meeting an author. Yeah, that's a picture that Danielle took. Like not zoomed. Well, not zoomed in. No.
It was a little zoomed in, but yeah. She was like, It was so close. I think I have a picture of the stage of it without, like that's not zoomed out. That's
not zoomed in. Yeah. We had nobody in front of us. It was great.
It was really cool. And like, I have one problem. The moderator was a little aggressive.
She felt the need to commentate and respond to everything Taylor was saying. So Taylor would be like, yeah, so I really liked writing this book because I wanted to empower women or something along those lines. And the moderator would be like, yeah, of course. Yeah. Instead of just nodding along and letting everybody in the room enjoy the experience.
Yeah,
she just kept talking.
It was really uncomfy. But like outside of that, she asked really good questions. And I'm sure the bookstore put that together. But
yeah, I don't think she was a bad moderator. That's what Danielle's talking about. She just did that for everything.
Yeah, it was really weird. And she was just like, the way she like spoke when she did do it, it was like she was fangirling, which I'm sure that's how we sounded when we interviewed Margarita Monomore. But like, yeah, it was just like a little uncomfy. And I was like, this is weird. But I really, and I like really appreciated that they let a bunch of people ask questions at the end. I thought that was really, really freaking cool.
Yeah, I told Liz, like after I sent her that, she was like, did you guys ask any questions? I was like, fuck no.
Yeah, we're pussies.
We're too nervous. Fuck no, we didn't get up. I think Danielle like whispered to me at one point, like, I wonder if they're going to ask about this. And I was like, put your hand up, get up there. She was like, no.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't have done it. I would have shat my pants.
Someone asked a really good question, and I can't remember. I mean, they all were really good questions, but
I can't remember.
I have to say, so going into this, we're all over the place, per usual, but going into this meet and greet, I guess, Danielle had already read Carrie Soto.
Yeah, I listened to the audio.
I did not. So I was going into this. I knew I was getting Carrie Soto from this, so I figured I would read it. Hearing her talk about Carrie and hearing her talk about her story and the 4-book saga and everything made me want to read this book as soon as I got home. I already wanted to prioritize it, but I wanted to get home and open it up and start reading it. And I'm pretty sure I did the next day.
Yeah. She just market. I mean, like, she's obviously gonna market her book really well, obviously. But the way she talked about Carrie and like empowering women and like basing it back to real life events and like the Olympics and Serena and all this stuff, it was just really cool to like listen to. And just like, I don't know, we were already fans of her before, but like I think I'm an extra big, like, I like her even more after hearing her talk about like just like everything in her writing process and how she wants to write about like badass women and like how Carrie's a lot different than Daisy and a lot different than Evelyn and Nina. Yeah, so like, and she really is like, we'll get into it. She really is. We'll get into it when we talk about Carrie, but like, she's not lying. So it's just like, it was really, really cool. And like, it's so funny though, because Morgan and I had different experiences because I read the book before I got there because I got the ALC and I loved it and it was so good. And I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to hear her listen about this. And she would say things. I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And Morgan's like,
I don't understand.
Morgan's
and
like,
also, I've only read Malibu Rising and Evelyn. So I also have not read Daisy.
Yeah, she hasn't met Daisy yet.
I haven't met Daisy, but I guess I knew that they were all in the same universe, but hearing her talk about them being a saga of badass women makes me want to read Daisy more because I've tried to start Daisy twice and it just doesn't grasp me in like the first couple pages. It's nothing like I'm not reading it and I'm like, oh my God, this is annoying. I'm just not hooked into reading the first page. And Danielle thinks I'm going to hate it anyway, so that doesn't really make me want to read it.
Yeah, it just concerns me because it's like very music heavy and like...
You thought I was not going to like Carrie Soto because it was very sports heavy. So you were wrong about that.
That's true. But it's different. Like, it's different. And I don't know, there's just something about it I don't think you're going to like. And
well,
I think, and I also think it's like a slower start. Like, you have to get into it so before you can actually get to like the meat of Daisy. I like Daisy. I think Carrie's my new favorite, but before Evelyn was my favorite.
So since you've read all 4 out of the 4, unless this just was the answer, what's your favorite book out of the 4?
Oh, Carrie. I think it would be Carrie, Evelyn, Malibu, then Daisy.
Okay, so that you just said that previously. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. It's fine. It's just like, but it's just, I like the way this one's written, and I think I like, I feel like it hits more with me because it's an athlete, and I was an athlete growing up and all throughout college, and I totally understand like the coaching and then like being determined to win and like all of the things to like make your, like, I don't know, it's cool. I like her, and she's like, we'll talk about her more and stuff, but yeah. But no one asked about like the Evelyn Hugo movie and like
that's what your question was.
Yeah, no one asked about like anything about the Daisy Jones and the Six TV show that's coming out and like her and like if she has her hands in it and if she's gonna have an appearance in the TV shows or like anything like that. And I was so sad because I was like, that shit's coming out soon.
Is it?
I think Daisy Jones literally just stopped filming recently. So it should be dropping either next year or like holiday.
TV show. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Oh, I didn't know they casted people already.
Yeah, it's already casted and it's like they just wrapped filming not too long ago. Yeah.
Interesting. Very, very pretty cast. Let's see.
But yeah. I'll start that shit and never finish it like I did like Stranger Things.
Oh my God, I'm so behind. I just recently, very off topic, I'm a Grey's Anatomy fanatic. Once I get hooked on it, like well, I like to say I'm caught up. I didn't realize that they're on like season fucking 18 or 19, and I am very much behind on that. And I just watched an episode recently, and I was like, I gotta get back into this. Didn't get back into it.
Yeah. It's just
too much TV to watch.
They drop shit so fast, and I'm like, can we take a break? Like,
I know.
I gotta catch up here.
Like Masked Singer.
Yeah, that's coming out Wednesday.
This fucking Wednesday?
This coming Wednesday.
We haven't even finished the last season.
Yeah. It's coming on Wednesday. It's not like you have to watch the last season for...
No, but I want to, because I still haven't gotten anybody right.
All right. Anyway, so yeah. I can't remember what that girl asked, but it was the last question. It was a really fucking good question.
Whatever. I don't remember.
Whatever. But yeah, it was a really cool event. If there's ever an author event near you, and you're on the fence about it, fucking go. It's really cool. And like, usually they're free. Like, there's author events near us today at 2:45. Yeah, there's a huge like writers thing going on at the U of A, and the author of Vlad's gonna be there.
We're not going.
And like the guy who wrote Paradox Hotel. I don't know if you know who that is, but
I don't know his name, but I know the book.
You see that, yeah. But like, they're gonna be in our whole area, and there's just like this huge author event going on. But yeah,
Danielle just told me that right now. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, it's today. It started at 10:30, and it's going all day. And there's like a bunch of things happening at the university. So.
Did you know that there was such a thing as BookCon?
Okay, I looked that shit up, and it's only like romance authors. And they're like, I looked at all the...
Really?
Yeah, I looked at all the... Unless I'm thinking of a different one. But I was looking up... I looked at the authors, and like, I only knew like 5 of them out of like the 70 that were going to be there. And they're all romance authors. Like, Colleen Hoover was the biggest name that I saw.
Oh. Well, okay, so my coworker told me she just tells me a bunch of things when we get together, and she's like, oh, you and your friend that like enjoy reading books should go to BookCon. And I was like, I didn't know there was such thing as a book, like BookCon.
Oopsie daisies.
And she said that I think she went like before COVID, so it was a while ago, but she had gone, and like Hillary Clinton's daughter was there, Kevin Hart was there.
What the
Because he wrote a book. So yeah, you're saying all these
okay.
Romance authors.
No. Yeah, I was looking at a different one. So this girl I follow was freaking out because she's going to this event in Texas. And it was a book event. And the only people that were going was romance authors. And I was like, I like a good romance. But like, I didn't know any of these authors. And they're like smut romance authors.
Ugh.
Yeah. I was like, no thanks.
Excuse me. I didn't mean that. But I did.
Where is this?
I think it's in New York City.
I mean, that's not far from us.
I'm sorry. When I just pull up this is just a chaotic episode. When I just pull up my like news, like I just go into Microsoft Edge or whatever this is, and it said my news says Georgia woman using KFC drive-thru finds $543 in cash under her sandwich.
Oh, lit.
I gotta find out what she did with it.
This is life. This is bonus episode for sure.
She returned it.
Oh, good for her.
Fucking wiener.
No, good karma's coming her way. She's gonna win $1 million now.
That was her good karma. Oh, and 10 cents.
Good for her.
I wonder if she kept the 10 cents.
The most important part of the story, did she keep the 10 cents? Oh shit, something's happening.
No. Now I feel bad for saying she fucking returned it, because it was the restaurant's daily deposit.
Oh,
like
dang.
Someone going to the bank to deposit, put it in her bag, which that's
weird. Okay.
Weird, yeah. The cash was enough to pay off her electricity bills, and her husband suffered strokes and is battling cancer. And she returned it.
Oh, what? The good people in this world. And then there's us. We're like, I'm fucking taking that money.
KFC reportedly refunded her money. Who's Oliver? Hold on.
Oliver Money.
Oliver. No, Oliver is her last name.
Oh.
I'm sorry. Oliver paid for her lunch and gave her a free meal. What?
Wow, for returning $5,000. So she got her
500.
Oh, okay. So she got her $20 meal for free.
Yeah.
She'll get her good karma. Don't worry.
We should go to KFC today.
The world. Okay. I mean, I'll fuck up a famous bowl.
No, I just mean to get $500. That's all.
Oh, okay. Got it. Do you want to talk about fucking Carrie Soto?
I'm really sorry to our listeners. Yeah. So, Carrie Soto. Let's start with the fact that we are going to talk spoilers. So, if you have not read Carrie Soto, go read it, come back, and listen to this episode.
And then listen. Yeah.
Yes.
Because we're going to ruin the fuck out of this book. Not ruin
We
it,
are.
But like,
we're going to talk spoilers.
Yeah, we're going to talk spoilers.
Nobody wants to be spoiled.
Yeah. If you haven't read it, seriously, go read it before you listen to this.
Yeah.
Because we're going to absolutely talk the whole thing.
Yeah. So, to start, what did you rate this book?
Oh, I gave it a 5.
Me too.
Yeah. It's so good. It's so good.
Go ahead.
Oh, I just loved it so much. And like I said before, it's just because I like really appreciated that she was an athlete and that she had a love story in it, but it was mostly about her and her independence and her journey with sports and like tennis and becoming the greatest tennis player alive. And like she was just like single-minded. Like there wasn't anything to get in her path. And I just loved that she was just like, she knew what she wanted and she went for it and she didn't care who got in her way. And she was like genuinely herself the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Never changed. She was always her bitch ass self. Literally.
Literally. I can tell you that so I enjoy Taylor Jenkins Reid's books. I am not up to date on all of her books. I am not like trying to rush into reading all of her books, if that makes sense.
No, I get it.
And when we signed up for this thing, I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to get Carrie Soto. I probably won't read it right away because whatever. After listening to her talk about it, I instantly came home and wanted to pick it up and finished it in about 2 or 3 days. So with that being said, I am now on the train of wanting to finish all of her books, or at least like get my hands on them.
Like the 4 books.
Yeah. Because now, I mean, I still have your copy of Daisy, so maybe I'll read it eventually. But going into this book, I was like, I don't really know what to expect. And plus, you were thinking that I wasn't going to love it. So I was a little nervous, but I really enjoyed how carefree she was. And at one point when she was like being a bitch and her dad was like, you gotta not do that. And she's like, you made me this way. So fuck off. Like, she didn't say that, but
she was thinking it. She probably was thinking it.
I'm surprised she didn't say it, but I did enjoy her relationship with her father a lot.
Me too. Me frickin' too. Keep going though. I'm gonna have you lead this conversation because you also read Carrie more recently than I did, and you read it and I listened. So there's gonna be a lot of things that I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry if people are watching. My nose is just itching so fucking much. I'm not picking it, I promise. It's literally just like right here. Itches so bad. Anyway. I loved that there were a lot of characters in the book, but there also weren't. Like there were extra characters, the competitors that she was going against. Her it was her manager, right?
Yeah, her like manager, agent lady.
Yeah. And then her dad. And it was just like her mom, I think, died early.
Oh, yes. Her mom passed like within the first
she was a
few.
Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she just had her dad, and her dad was a huge tennis player, coach, and then he was like, I need you to be the best of the best. And then that's how she turned into Carrie Soto. Essentially, he made her
into this huge,
He made her train at such a young age, and she just wanted to strive to be the best of the best. And then when she retired with like, I don't remember what it was offhand, but she had like the most amount of wins of like a US Open or like a
there's some crazy amount of things.
Claimed 20 Grand Slam titles. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. And then she retired, and then the tennis world obviously continues, doesn't stop when she retires. And then this up and coming person, Nikki Chan, is out to break her record. So she's like, well, nobody can take it away from me. I need to come back. And then I almost loved that she wasn't able to jump right back into it. She had her issues, and, you know, it wasn't like, oh my God, she's the best and she's always going to be the best. No, she came back when she was in her late 30s and was...
She's not in shape for it. She, like, wasn't in her tip-top shape anymore because she's been retired.
Right, and her dad's like, okay, you're going to run 10 miles. And she's like, what?
Yeah, in the sand, too. She's like,
he's like...
Yeah, she's like, what? And she hated it so much. And he's like, yep, go do it.
I'm trying to think of like the big key parts. Obviously, the bigger key parts that I really, really loved are at the end, but I'm trying to make my way through the book.
Well, so her dad and her had a fight in her initial upcoming as the best, and she dropped him as a coach.
Yeah.
And she didn't, so she like ended up dropping her dad as a coach. And this was like a huge thing about her, like, comeuppance and like whatever. So this man she met ended up being her coach, and I can't remember who this man was. It was whatever, this guy. And then as soon as she started to like lose, he like dropped her and was like, yeah, you're not the greatest anymore.
Lars, does that sound right?
I can't remember. It could be Lars. I think it was Lars.
It was Lars.
Yeah. So, yes.
That's after she dropped her dad, and then the guy called. Or no, she called him up and was like, I need a new coach.
Yeah. And, like, that was a really, like... It kind of shows Carrie's character and, like, what she wants and, like, the relationship between her dad and her. And, like, obviously, it's better in present time. And while she's actually, like, in real life trying to retrain and stuff like that. And I think she essentially was like, Dad, I'm so sorry. Like, I can't believe I did that to you and all that stuff. And like, I don't know. I've come to find that I've been liking stories that are like a sister main character story or a brother sister main character story or like father, mother, you know what I mean? Like like a relationship story that's like
familial.
Yeah, but, like, it's not, like, family drama. It's, like, a story that's, like, them having a better relationship or their relationship growing.
Yeah.
I love stories like that, and I'm so drawn to them, and I think they hit so well. Like, this is one. And I loved Carrie and her dad. That's whole story of them, and, like, oh, my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, and the faith that he had in her, too, of, like, I know that you can do it. And he wasn't just saying that because he was her dad. He was saying it because he trained her. And he would tell her if he thought she could do it or not.
Right, yeah. He was honest with her. And she's like, I need you to tell me, Dad. I need you to tell me that I suck balls. And she's like...
But then she got pissed off when she wasn't.
Yeah.
And she got pissed off when he did tell her the truth and was like, no, I don't think you can do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like, well, what the fuck?
But that's like you got to think about it. And this is just like coming from if my mom said while I was playing volleyball that I sucked, I got mad at her. But, like, that's just, like, a fam. Like, this is just the dynamic it is. And, like, I get it. Because, like, when I was playing volleyball, my mom was watching me. Like, she would be like, yeah, it was a really bad game. And I'm like, oh, fuck you.
I don't need to be reminded. Thank you.
Yeah, and you're like, oh. And, like, you're frustrated and you're mad because you played the crap. But then, like, and you have your mom being like, yeah, you played the crap. And you're like, damn it. And, like, I get it. It makes sense. And, like, that's the thing. Like, she really represented this relationship really well. And I was like, I
Mm-hmm.
get it. I just get it. Because, like, I was an athlete. Not, like, a pro fucking athlete, but, like, I played throughout college and high school. So, like, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
And I feel her. I love Carrie because, like, she's just doing the thing that she was made to do. And, like...
And she didn't give a shit who she offended. Like...
No.
She really didn't. And we can talk about, too, the fact that in this exclusive whatever meet and greet thing, Taylor said that the original name of this book was The Bitch Is Back.
Yes. Oh, and I'm so mad. And she was like, yeah, the publishers were not about it. And I was like, oh, so
I
good.
kind of like Carrie Soto is back better, though, because, like, Carrie Soto was in Malibu Rising briefly, but she was. And then that kind of carries over, like, it overlaps in a timeline in this book, which we all know that happens in her saga. But if it said The Bitch Is Back and then it, like, on the cover said, or in the description said Carrie Soto, I probably wouldn't have made the connection right away.
Connection. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why they're like, well, how about this? So,
yeah.
But when that line hit in the book, because it says the bitch is back in their news headlines, I was like, yeah. I don't know. It's just her being like this like super bitchy person really didn't bother me at all. Not once. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really cool. And like how different Carrie was from her other main characters was so freaking sweet, and I loved it. I just thought it was so cool. Like, they're all badass women, but like Carrie's so
different ways.
Different. She's so different. Like, she wasn't like, not that the other girls were fueled with like a romance, but romance was kind of heavy in those books. Kind of, and kind of not. But like, Carrie's just so much different than the other girls, and I loved that, and I was so into it. I was like, this is so different. It felt different, and like the writing style is obviously the same, but just something about the way the plot is, the story, it just felt so like different and unique, and I loved it.
And Taylor even said too that she wrote this book, and I think somebody asked a question about or maybe the narrator did, or the moderator had asked, like, how do you expect people, this is not word for word,
is it the book club question?
No, it was saying how, like, what gave her the idea to write a book about somebody who was disliked so much in Malibu Rising.
Yeah.
And she was like, did you guys ever think, like, maybe Brandon just should not have cheated and, like, Carrie did not do anything wrong? And obviously, like, yes, that makes sense. But in my head, I was like, oh, she's gonna be a big, like, bitch. She's gonna be a big character. Okay, like, yeah, let me read it now.
Yeah, it's so good. But going back to that, another girl asked, like, what's a question what's a question I should ask my book club, because we're reading this for our book club? And she was like, yeah, ask them, when's the first time you thought Carrie was a bitch, and when's the last time you thought she was a bitch, or something like that.
Or, like, did it change? Did you like her by the end of the book, or did you at least understand her by the end of the book, or something?
Yeah, something like that. And I was like, dang. I mean,
yep.
Yeah, I thought she was like, I mean, it wasn't even like, yeah, she was a bitch, but I liked it the whole way through. I didn't hate it once.
I don't think I hated it either. I don't know, though, if we didn't go to that and hear her talking so much about, like, the female empowerment, if I would have gone about it a different way and been like, wow, Carrie's really annoying.
That's true. That is true. Maybe you would have had different feelings about it.
But I really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed that she didn't give a single shit about anything that people were saying. And I also loved later on in the book where she was going against Nikki I think it was like one of the end chapters. She was going against Nikki and they had to take the break.
Yeah.
And they were both in, like, the lockers, and Nikki, like, I loved their relationship.
Yes.
I really did.
Yes.
Because they were like, Nikki was the first person that Carrie truly realized she could potentially make a friend out of.
Yes.
Even if they were rivals in a sense. And when they were in the locker room, they were like being nice but talking shit.
Yes.
Like, they were just like, okay, good luck beating me. You're going to have to pry it from my dead hands. And then Nikki was like, okay, yeah, I'll take it from your dead body. Like, they were just like being bitches to each other. But I really enjoyed how they went back and forth. And then, oh my God, I had a point that I was just going to make about that interaction between her and Nikki and how, like, I loved their friendship, if you could call it a friendship, throughout the entire book. Their relationship, I guess.
Yeah, I think it was a friendship. It was like, I think it was like, I don't know. It was a good friendship though, because like it kind of made Carrie, like, she kind of had an arc from that friendship a little bit. You know,
She did.
It like helped her soften.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say, because everybody was talking shit about Carrie and they were like, everybody's saying such great things about you because like you're out to beat me. And she's like, no, they're not. They're out. And like, she was seeing a totally different side of the news. Nikki was seeing how people were saying there's no way she's going to beat Carrie. Carrie's the best, and saying that she didn't deserve it or like whatever it was. But then Carrie's seeing Nikki's going to take it from you. You're just old and worn out. You're a battle axe. You're not good for this. Like, just leave. So they were both seeing different sides of the news that were like both putting them down, which is making them grow in a sense.
Yeah. And like, I think that's also how they came together too. It's like they both know what they want and they both are fighting for the same thing. And that's like, it develops a friendship that's like unique.
Right. Yeah.
And like, and then like Bo, and like, I liked Bo too because he was a good love interest because he was also kind of like a stubborn asshole like her. And
he had a good character arc, I think, too.
I agree. And like, I don't know, I just really liked him. And I liked that he wasn't the central piece of the story. You know, like, you know how sometimes like things can be like solely focused on the romance and forget about like her being like this badass woman who's like trying to get her title back from Nikki Chan and stuff like that. It didn't make it bad, you know what I mean? It was like a good addition.
Yeah. Well, it also, she wrote both of their characters. They obviously practiced together, her and Bo did, and then they went and each did their respective like matches.
They like were competing in their own matches.
But then Bo didn't make it as far as she did. Like, he didn't outshine her to be like, oh, I'm a man and I'm better. Yeah. Like, Carrie was still the better in the two of them. And I really liked that it wasn't outshined by this male tennis player to be like, well, he's a man, so he's going to play better. Yeah. No. And he was a man who had anger issues. I mean, he threw temper tantrums when he lost and would like break rackets. And he also had that character arc that Javier taught him to be like, you can't do that. You got to not do that on the court. And I think in his last match that he did, he was like, okay, yep. Yeah. Like, he shook the guy's hand and and then people were like cheering him on, even though he lost.
Yeah. Goosebumps. Good parts. These are good parts. Yeah. And then, well, since we're on the rant about characters.
Let me just tell you, when that part happened, we're talking about the same thing, right? We're talking about Javier?
Yeah, we're talking about Javier.
So when the part happened that they were like, I think they were on the plane, right? They were on the plane and they got up to like get off the plane and she turned to look for her dad and her dad like fell on the ground. That part was the end. And it was like, and my dad fell or like was on the ground and she went running. Like, I have goosebumps right now. Yeah. That happened. I was just reading and I was like, okay, this is going to be the next couple matches. All right. And then I was sitting on my beanbag right here and I gasped so loud and I was like, okay, I need to put the book down because I swear to God, if something happens to this man, I'm going to lose my shit. And guess fucking what? This man dies.
Yeah. Yeah.
That broke my heart. That legit broke my heart.
I was so sad when he died. I was like, oh my God. But I think it worked, and it worked so well because
it did.
Carrie had to like continue to work without guidance from her dad, even though she did but didn't, because he left a notebook.
I thought that notebook was so fucking cute, especially when he was like, he wrote that like she could beat Nikki. Yeah. Carrie can beat her.
It was so good.
I stopped. I was reading. I think it was my day off. I was reading and I texted Danielle and I was like, her dad fucking dies? Are you kidding me?
And I was like, yep, she's there.
Because she just was like, they were having like, it was at the point where she stopped hiding Bo and their relationship from her dad. So he stayed the night. They got up, they had their routine, and she was like, my dad's not awake. Let me go check on him. And he was dead in bed.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she just, I think she knew it before she opened the door. She was like, he's usually up. Let me go check on him. Prepared herself, opened the door, and he was.
Yeah, he passed.
Dead.
Yeah.
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 That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That really.
God.
I have a tangent to go on.
Okay.
You know how I say that I enjoy books that destroy me? So when he died, I literally experienced the feeling of finding out that someone I knew passed. Like, you know, when you get that really like deep feeling in your gut and you don't start crying, but you're just like your whole body just shuts down and your heart is like broken. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Am I okay?
Yeah.
That happened and I was like, this is probably like why my body is just so fucked up, because I read books that put me through this and then my body's like, bitch, are we all right? Like, what's going on? Why are you losing so many people?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, well, that's like you were connected with that character so deeply that like when he passed, you're like, holy hell. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't that long of a tangent. But I just remember sitting there and I was like, my heart hurts. Like, I feel like I just found out that my dad died.
Yeah.
Minus the like obvious like reaction of crying and being very, very, very upset that would happen if that were to happen. But just the
it's like
the bodily reaction to like getting bad news, I guess.
I feel that. Yes. Listening to that, I was like, oh no. And then like I just like couldn't stop listening after that. I was like, I need to know what happens. What's gonna happen? Oh my God. Her dad's dead. Why her dad died? What the fuck?
I think I had to reread that too, because I like sometimes when I read, we know I'm a fast reader. Sometimes when I get going and I'm reading fast, I'm skimming. Not skimming and like skipping over words, but like I'm reading sentences really fast. And if I feel like they're fillers, I'm like, okay, yep, let's get to the point. So I was reading through that and I don't think I comprehended the first time what happened. And then I was like, wait, no. And then I read it back slower and I was like,
oh, damn, this happened. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, don't fucking look at me like that.
Okay. But yeah, no, that part hit hard. And then so she finds his notebook of pointers and stuff in this house she's gonna win and like all this stuff, and it's got like, and I loved the audiobook because like she would be playing and then she would think about the notebook and it would be in his voice, and it was so good. And I loved my God, it was so good. And then like, you know how like they had like the chapters where there would be like a sports broadcast, it was in other people's voices and they had music that like, you know, when the news comes in, there's like this music that comes in and it was like sports music, and then they would start talking and then it would like fade into the next chapter, and it was so freaking good. I loved it. The audio's fucking amazing. And like,
interesting.
Okay. Oh man, it was really good. Like if you want to reread it, I highly suggest like next year if you want to like, I want to reread Carrie Soto, fuck it.
Like listen to it.
Yeah, listen to it. It's so good. I like read it so fast because I was like, it was like watching a sports documentary.
It kind of was in the way that you described that some chapters were legit. Okay, she hit the ball and hit to the back corner. Okay, now it's 14 like whatever the
14
score is.
love, whatever.
Yeah. But what?
And the like chapters were dated. Like it was legit. Like, I don't know. What are you going to say?
No, I'm getting a spam Discord messages right now, and they're popping up in my corner and I'm reading them and listening to, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I don't know where my train of thought was going. I'm sorry.
Anyway, yeah. But it was like literally watching a sports documentary. Like it's like, you see her, you get the point of view of her playing, and then you've got like outside of her life with these sports anchors talking about her journey, and then you've got like, yeah, it's really cool. And then you've got like, you see Nikki Chan like talking to her, and then you've got like Bo, and you've got Javier, and oh my god, it's so good. And then the ending, oh my gosh, when she starts training Nikki and being her coach.
You missed a big part first.
Wait, go ahead.
No, you can tell it.
Oh, I was just gonna say, listening to the audio and how it says, like, it's just talking about Nikki and Carrie, like the like them, I don't know what's happening, it's a match or whatever.
Yes.
But like the last sentence says, I sit forward praying with all my might as Nikki pulls back and swings, and then it just ends.
Okay.
So good audio. I literally was like,
the part that I was talking about that happened right before that was in their match. I actually liked that she lost.
Oh yeah, that's important.
So that's what happened. Her and Nikki were going against each other, and she lost, and she was like, you know what? I played a hell of a game. I know that my dad would be proud, and you know what? I'm gonna retire. This is it.
Yeah.
And her and Nikki were like, that's where their like friendship, I guess, started. And then instead of retiring and just staying away from tennis, she ended up training Nikki.
Yes. Oh.
So that, like, she was her coach.
Yeah.
And that was a big important part. I'm kind of glad that she didn't have this like, oh my God, I won. Now what? Because then if she won, Nikki would have just been going and then would have beaten her score again.
Yeah.
It kind of worked that she beat her score against her.
Yeah.
It was kind of like this whole,
like, it was like
full circle thing.
Yeah, it was like a learning thing, and like, you don't have to be the best to be the best kind of thing. Like, you know what?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you're the best in your time, and you're the best that you are, and you've built yourself to be this best that's in your own world, not out in like relatively in the whole world, but you're the best you've built for yourself kind of deal.
Yeah. And I think I also really enjoyed Nikki's character. Outside of Carrie, I think Nikki might have been my favorite character because she understood that there was this rivalry between them. But then when she found out that Carrie's dad died, she sent her flowers, and she was like, she was like nice about it. But she also said, if you're going to back out because your dad died, I want to know that I beat you fair and square. So I'll back out. So it was like a nice thing, but she also was like, I still want to crush you. But she even said, like, you're the reason why I'm able to play tennis. You are the reason why I do this. And you're not even recognizing that I am a good player. And I need that from you. Like, I want my person that I looked up to realize that I am better than them. And I'm here because of them. And it was like such a really great, I think, learning thing for Carrie.
Yeah.
To realize, like, Nikki's not out to just take her record. She's out to set the path that she already set, if I'm making sense. Like, Carrie didn't realize that she did all of this work just so Nikki could do all of this work, and Nikki did it because of her and is like looking up to her. She thought that Nikki was just like, yeah, fuck you, I just want to take it from you.
No, she did it so she could prove to herself and to Carrie, who's the person who like she built, like literally grew up watching and like was inspired to play tennis because of her. It's so cool. Like, it's such a good story, and there's so many like like there's a bunch of character arcs, and like it's just so good.
It really was. I really loved this book so much. I still need to read Daisy. I don't necessarily know which my favorite is because I gave Malibu Rising, Evelyn, and this book all 5s. It's not like I gave one a 4, one a 4.5, and that a 5.
Yeah, I also gave them all 5s. They're all just so good, and like they're not even like the same novel. They're all so different.
They're all so different.
Worlds different. They're all just so not the same, but they're all in the same universe, which is insane to me. This freaking girl is an insane writer. And I'm a fangirl. Fuck it. I know I am. But like,
nothing wrong with that.
She's such a good writer. Like, if you haven't read a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, freaking just do it. And like, start with Evelyn. I feel like that's the beginning of the whole series.
Daisy Jones. Oh no, Evelyn is. You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot that the time because Evelyn was my first, and then I read Malibu Rising, and I was like, oh my god, they're together. Like they're together in a sense. I think. Fuck me. What the hell was I just gonna say? Sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I remembered. So obviously Brandon was in this book.
Yeah.
And they mentioned Mick Riva, Nina Riva's father, briefly.
Yep.
And then at one point when Carrie was going to one of the matches, she said she brought along a copy of Daisy Jones and the Six to read because she wanted to, I think she said she was just curious about who slept with who or something like that. Like it was some sort of comment. It was later on in the book, but I caught that and I was like, oh shit. Okay. So like, it
all connects.
Thank you. My brain is not working right now.
Yeah, it's really freaking cool how she connects. And they're like connected in the smallest ways. It's not even like huge things. It's just tiny things.
More.
Me too. It's just like interesting to pick up on little things like that.
Okay. I try to call myself. The round of 16 is tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow morning I will practice with my father. So tonight this quiet is my respite. The book I brought is an unauthorized biography of Daisy Jones and the Six. I'm only reading to see who slept with who, but I can't focus.
That's crazy. I didn't even pick up on that when I was listening because, like, you don't pick up on certain things when you read.
Yeah, and if you're like doing something else and listening to it, sometimes you miss. Yeah,
was good. Was
such a good book.
So good. It was so good. She just kills it when she writes books. Like. It makes me sad that this is like she did say, but I don't know. She could change her mind. She did say this is the last in the thing during her event.
She did also say something about enjoying a certain time period, and that she's like, who knows? Maybe I'll write something. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't like a hint at anything. I think she was just being honest of like maybe there'll be more, but this is the planned last.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it was.
I don't think she'll stop. Like, I don't think it's just like her saying like, "Oh, I'm done writing books." I just think that like this whole thing, like this whole universe she built, this is the last of the universe.
Right. And I kind of like that she released them in order, right?
Yeah.
It's not like she released Evelyn and then Carrie Soto and then Daisy and then like she released them in order, kind of to make it easier on the reader too.
Yeah.
If you're going to be reading them in that order.
It also made me think like she like read Evelyn and then she got inspired by somebody in Evelyn and then that pulled Daisy and then she got inspired by and it's like it's cool.
It was very good. I think if you have not picked up this book yet, you definitely should. If you haven't picked up a Taylor Jenkins Reid yet, definitely pick up Evelyn. Start with Evelyn so you will understand all of the things going
through the whole. Yeah, it's so good.
Because there are just small characters that overlap in each book. And yes, we just talked about them. But if you made it this far and you haven't read Taylor Jenkins Reid yet, start with Evelyn. And it's Evelyn, Daisy, Malibu Rising, Carrie Soto.
Yeah. It's so good. And just the way she connects her characters is freaking bananas. So,
and like you said, they're small things. It's not like they bump into each other and they become best friends and then they overlap greatly. It's literally like
like Mick,
they met in a bathroom one time and they're telling a story about it later. Or like Mick is
Nina's dad
and Evelyn's like boyfriend,
once husband.
Oh, husband, right.
But it was like a quick husband.
It was a quick husband. Yeah. It was like a very overlooked thing too. I mean, that was the first one, so I didn't know to be picking up on these things. But if I reread Evelyn, which I probably should, but
yeah, and Mick shows up in Daisy, and I can't remember how, but he shows up in Daisy.
Okay, so Mick is
in
every single one.
Yeah, Mick is the man that made this whole I mean, he didn't make the universe, but he was a big part of everyone.
He was a big part of everyone, and it's also like
he's the worst.
Well, yes, but so Evelyn existed, and she was the first like bad bitch out there. And then I can't speak for Daisy, but I'm assuming she's another bad bitch. And then Nina isn't really like a bad bitch, but she's
a strong ass female.
She's a strong woman. Yes.
Yeah. I would say the same for Daisy. I think that like comparing all four of them, I would say that Carrie and Evelyn are the most badass and like
don't give a
people,
shit.
Yeah, people who like you would want to be a woman to look up. Not that like Daisy, but like once you read Daisy, you'll understand. But like,
okay,
she's a strong ass female, but she's a rock star. So
okay,
you'll see when you read it eventually. But
yeah.
like,
we could probably do an episode if I read them all. Like if I just read Daisy, then we talk about which the characters in each, and that could be a planned episode.
Eventually, yeah. But yeah, this was really good, and I don't want to be the person who brings up the drawback on these things, but I don't agree with any of it, and whatever. You can come at me and cancel me, but whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get into that on here, just
to keep it off from there, but I don't...
keep it off from there, but there is a lot, if you would like to look up, there is a lot of hate going around on this book specifically, but I feel like Taylor Jenkins Reid's books have gotten hate. I understand it, but I don't understand it at the same time. And again, we're not here to get in on it, get political, get whatever, but these are just amazing books, very empowering women in them, and that should be enough.
Yeah, that should literally be enough. That's such a good point. That should literally just be enough that it is. It doesn't matter if it's in the... I saw a review, and I'm not trying to come for anybody, but this person reviewed Carrie Soto and was like, it wasn't real enough.
Is this the one that DNF'd it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry? DNF'd it at what, 19%?
19%.
And said that Carrie was not likable. It wasn't even accurate to tennis and something else. And Danielle and I were just...
She suggested a bunch of other books to read, and they were like, I'm like, this is a fiction novel, ma'am. You can please clear the room.
But I mean, Danielle and I, you know maybe more about tennis than I do. I don't know anything about tennis.
I don't know shit about tennis.
But it's not like, it's very sports heavy, but it's not.
It's really not.
The book was like, okay, I hit a ball to the back corner. This is the score. Okay, she hits one to me and this is the score.
Yeah.
It wasn't, and I don't mean that in a choppy way, but it wasn't like I arc my ball so it hits in the back corner and I shuffle to the left so I can back her. Like it wasn't.
It didn't use terms that were confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it like wasn't. Yeah. If you were looking for a sports biography, don't read that. Like, it's not real. It's a fucking fictional book. Like, of course it's not going to be accurate. Yeah. It's fucking fiction.
Yeah. And Danielle and I are just here for a good time. So we enjoyed the books.
We'll read anything. I don't care. Like, we're not going to be opposed to, like, I don't know. It's just so confusing to me. I'm like, if you wanted something accurate to tennis, read a biography. Hello?
Right, and that's what that girl suggested. If you want something accurate to tennis, read a biography. This is not a biography. We don't know if it's accurate to tennis, but it didn't seem not accurate. I mean, for someone who doesn't know anything and has like watched tennis, it made sense in my head. But like, I guess if we read a book about volleyball and it was not accurate, then maybe it would annoy us. I don't know.
I wouldn't be fucking mad about it.
I might be. Honestly,
I don't know.
We know how I am, but
but on that term, though, I did learn a lot about tennis because I did not know there were so many different courts. Like, I didn't know there was a grass court or like, and there was a clay court, and then there was like, I don't know. There's like clay, grass, and like, I don't know. There was another type, and I didn't know that was a thing. I was like, whoa, you learn something new. But yeah, you definitely learn a lot of tennis too.
Turf.
I don't fucking know. There's like gravel. Is it gravel?
Yes, I think
gravel.
You're right.
So, and like and I was like, it was interesting because like Carrie wasn't very good at gravel or grass or something because she like, it was the way that like people, I was like, and the movements are different and like when you play on different courts. And I thought that was really interesting to learn about.
Yeah. Who knows if that's accurate, but
Well, I thought it was cool. So
right,
whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We enjoyed it. If you are interested in a good read and a good saga to read with a bunch of empowering women, definitely pick up this saga. Don't expect it to be like Evelyn is book 1, Daisy is book 2. They're totally different stories about different women with a minor overlap. They're in the same universe. I would compare it maybe to John Mars, how he writes in the same universe and he has little tiny overlaps in between his books. They're not big. They're not like the same characters all the time in every single book.
Catherine Center's kind of the same way too.
Yeah.
So
they're just little. Little things. Don't expect anything.
And you don't even have to read them in order. I would say read Carrie last though, but you don't have to read like, I would say Evelyn first and Carrie last for sure, but you don't have to read Malibu and Daisy in any sort of way.
I guess, well, again, I haven't read Daisy. I guess, yeah, definitely read Evelyn first, just because that's where you get introduced to a lot of
just like the world in general.
Yeah. And then, I mean, it goes in order in the sense of Evelyn's what in the...
It's just a timeline. It's literally like time periods. Literal time periods. That's how it is. That's how the order is.
Because Daisy is in the 60s?
60s. Evelyn's 50s. Malibu's 70s. This is 80s, 90s.
80s, 90s, yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, this is before. Because the before is in the 60s, right?
Yeah. 70s, 60s, 70s.
It says 1955 to 1965. But
right, so that's when she
was training. That's when she's a kid.
So, yeah, it's really interesting.
And then the 90s is...
when she's actually coming back.
90s is when she's back, and the 70s is when she was playing the first time around.
Yeah.
70s, 80s, and then 80s, 90s. But...
legitness!
Yes. What else do you have to say? Do you have anything else to say?
If you wanna, I would say go to an author event. It's so fun. We had a good time. And bring your best friend with you. It's even more fun.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun. All right, I'll stop being an ass. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad that we went. And it wasn't that far of a drive. Like, I really thought that I was going to be exhausted by the time I got home. And I was fine.
Yeah, it really wasn't that bad. And I think it was because it was like, it started at 7 and we got done at like 9-ish. 8:30.
Did it?
Yeah, it was early.
I thought oh no, the doors opened at 6 and then it started at 7. Yeah.
We waited an hour. But yeah.
Yep.
It was fun. Go do an author event. I thought it was a really, really cool experience.
Yeah, and they're, like Danielle said, they're either cheap or for free.
Yeah. You just have to look around. It's kind of hard to find them, but start at your indie bookshop. Like, indie bookstores are what holds these events. So that's a good place to start. A
lot of like she's on a book tour right now because Carrie just came out.
Yeah, so if your favorite author has released a new book.
Yeah, look up Taylor Jenkins Reid book tour 2022 or like stuff like that. You'll see, especially if they released a new book, you'll see.
For sure.
You'll find some stuff.
Like Frederick Backman's on a tour right now because he's releasing the winners very soon. So yeah. Just those are the steps. And yeah.
So do it.
Do it. And bring your best friend. High five.
Bring your best friend.
No, this way.
Right. This way?
Yeah. Yeah. My hand's way bigger than yours.
Here, I'll do this way.
Okay.
Okay. All right. This is just not going to be... Yep. Anyway.
So catch our new episode. Well, this is our bonus episode, but our next episode's coming out on October 1st, and we're talking about Jeanette McCurdy, baby.
Yeah. We'll talk about her book, and we'll announce our next book, which we already know.
Do we? Because you did decide to do...
I did decide what we're going to do, and I told you, but I'll remind you.
No, I have it on my TBR card.
Okie dokie. Well, yeah, we already know what we're going to read, so we will be able to announce it. Well, I don't know if we'll announce it on the pod. Maybe we'll make you guys wait. Who knows?
We should
but
make
we know.
Them wait.
We should make them wait. We should be like book of the month and make them wait.
We should.
It's kind of fun, having all this power.
Yeah, it is.
I understand why Book of the Month does this shit then.
Mm-hmm. We could like even drop tiny hints too. Be like,
Well, it can't be the hint that you gave for reminders of him because everybody got it.
Yeah, that was bad.
That book also had just come out. So
it really did. So
like,
people are like, oh, I know it.
Yeah. So
also, there's your first hint, baby.
Yeah, that it's not a new book.
Yeah.
And we'll tell you this. No. Shut up. We'll tell you this hint right now. October is my birthday month, so I am choosing the book that we are reading.
Too. That's a good hint too. Oh yeah.
And it's not a new book, and we both own it.
Oh, that's another good hint. Woo!
Have fun with that. There's 3 hints right there. I mean, come on.
You don't get any more hints until the first.
Fuckers.
Just call our listeners fuckers.
Yeah, well.
All right. Who's ready to go to Barnes & Noble?
Me!
Yay!
Let's go get some books.
All right. Thanks for listening, you guys, being our friends.
And we'll be back with the chaos on October 1st.
Baby!
Hell yeah.
Get Jeanette McCurdy's book as soon as you can.
Danielle, start reading it as soon as you can.
I know. I'm going to look and see if Barnes & Nobles have it so I can freaking mark it. I feel like I need to mark it.
Well.
Yeah, and then I'm going to give it to you because I'm probably not going to want it. Or we could do a giveaway.
We can see how you like it first.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to like it. We'll see.
Who knows? I mean, who knows? I really don't know.
I read books sometimes and they surprise the shit out of me, so we'll see. On that note,
we're going to go to Barnes & Noble.
Yay!
Bye!
Bye, everyone!